Hello and welcome. My name is Kristy Wumkes. I am a quantum healer, channel, and intuitive guide, and I just want to thank you for listening to June's energy update. Um, I downloaded quite a bunch of information this morning, so I have a lot to share with you guys, and I hope you are all doing well. It has been a crazy few weeks. So this month, I really want to talk about not only what the energies are like, but also what we should be doing with them. So there has been a big shift happening within the spiritual community and in the collective consciousness. We have been undergoing massive amounts of energies and solar flares, and the Schumann resonance has been popping off now and then to really help us integrate and activate our DNA to bring us into where we want to be going. So, what I'm talking about within the spiritual community, and you may have seen it and you may have not, it's just something that's starting to kind of like split. We're kind of splitting into two different groups, per se. Not that anything is right or wrong, but there's a group that is kind of focused on the doing, right? So we're doing the activations, we're doing the clearings, we're doing the energy work, we're channeling light language, we're connecting with our galactic guides, we're doing all the things and living in the higher realms. And that is great. And we usually get that spiritual high from all of that. But at the same time, we are humans and we are meant to live our human life and experience what it's like to be a human. So where the kind of disconnect is coming in is we need to learn how to integrate those two. And what I've been working a lot with my clients on lately is how to do that. So it basically just kind of leaves you stuck in searching for that next high, when it's really about learning to embody that as a person and utilize all the tools that the universe and God and spirit has given us to live our life fully, authentically, and just living the life that we want to live. So it's always so much fun to, go into the higher realms and connect with your guides and channel information. There's nothing wrong with that. But then we have to live our own life. And sometimes, like even myself lately, I've been like, okay, I need to bring more of what I teach into my personal life because I really, really, really need to get grounded into that. So I'm just checking my notes here. So let's get into like the energies. So they have been intense lately. And even with all of the tools I have, and just even having advance notice of what this year was going to look like, I'm still feeling it. So, how about you? Have you been feeling like drained? Has there been like a lot of stuff going on in your life? It seems to be, talking with family and friends and clients, like everybody's going through something, whether it's personal, whether it's with work, whether it's through people, or maybe one of their pets or animals. Things just keep coming up that we are having to deal with. And I have just been exhausted these last few weeks. I've been waking up in the middle of the night, wired but tired. I have messages coming in on what I should be doing, or new guidance. And I'm like, okay, all right, I hear you. Can we not do this at 3 a.m.? And it's really just we're moving into this next phase, which is really that embodiment and that action phase. So there's I can't remember exactly what it was, but we were moving into Taurus, and we are really meant to embrace those masculine energies where we actually start doing. So like I was talking about, like a lot of people are like living in this space, but then we drop back down and then we just go back to our normal life and our normal ways of being, and we don't really integrate the tools we have learned and have been given into our daily life to really help us move about it with ease. So what I'm really getting is that this month is really for us to integrate those new energies and to slow down, even though June is a really hard month. especially if you have kids in school, to slow down. But really, all that means is just doing things with intentionality, right? So even today, I have a lot to get done, but I was like, okay, I'm going to make sure I am focusing my energy on what I'm doing in this now moment and doing it with intention and not rushing through it just to get to the next thing. That has helped me tremendously today. I don't feel as stressed as I have been lately. And that's really just because the energies have been causing chaos in my mind as much as I've been trying to ground, clear, and protect and shield. So what's happening with these energies is like our DNA in our physical body is being activated. We are, more gifts are starting to come online. Things are starting to get easier for us. Our body is trying to integrate all of these light codes and light information, and it can just make us tired. But that is also why we need to slow down and just enjoy what we're doing. So if you are on my mailing list and got my email about kind of what I'm doing this month, and if you're not, make sure you go to the link below and sign up for my newsletter so you can get those right to your inbox every month as well. But I'm really focusing on things that bring me joy and just living my life and embracing everything that comes. I am stepping back from the hustle culture and the do. It is not the easiest thing to do. I know for many of us, it's so ingrained in us, and it's something I've been working on for years. But again, it goes into being intentional with your energy. So, whatever I'm doing in that moment, that is what I'm focused on. So right now I'm recording the energy update, and I am 100% focused on you and sharing this information. And then once I'm done with this and post it to YouTube, I'm walking away. I'm not going to think about it again. And I am going on to the next thing. And tonight, that's going to be soccer with my little one. She's got a game, which is a rematch, and I'm going to be fully present and taking that all in, enjoying every second of it. So that is kind of just what I mean by like slowing down and being 100% focused on what you're doing in the now moment. Okay, so going back to like June and what we're doing, again, it's the energies are really, really supporting us with slowing down and coming into the version of ourselves that we've been striving to be and doing all the work to become. So what do I mean by that? So some of us are in, there's really two types of people that I've been working with and talking to. And the first group is like me, where we've been doing the work, we've been doing the activations, we've been doing the meditations, we've been, channeling information, and we've just been doing so much work on ourselves in trying to create the life that we desire. And now is the time for us to step into it this month. And some of us, myself probably included, are hanging on. There's almost like two timelines. And one is like the old way that we were doing things and showing up and living. And, whether or not you can like feel that, like some of us are still focusing energy there, trying to hold on to things that no longer serve us, trying to fix things we think are broken. And really, if something's not working for us, most likely that is no longer in alignment with who we're becoming and where we're going. So it's really kind of slowing down and thinking about like, am I supposed to fix this? Am I still supposed to be doing this? Does this feel right? Is this in alignment with me and where I'm going? And if not, we got to get comfortable with letting it go, because the new version, the new timeline of what we've been working so hard for is ready, but we cannot fully step into it until we let go of where we were. So if that resonates with you, where you're at, like this month is really calling you to embrace those energies, those feelings, and align with what resonates with your new vibration and your new frequency. And if that is not the group that you feel that you are in and that resonates with you, the other group that I'm working with is people that are just starting to be activated and coming online. They finally understand or feel the pull and the call that they should be doing something different. They're starting to embrace and explore their spirituality and their spiritual gifts. And they're in that like sponge phase where they're soaking it all in and they want all the information that they can get. And this is like, I do not want you, if this is your group, to feel like you are behind, because you are 100% not. It's divinely orchestrated where we are now, the group that I was just talking about is now starting to activate the group that is meant to come after us and is the next wave of souls that are coming online to this whole awakening, stepping into ourselves, coming back to our authentic selves, remembering who we are, where we came from, and stepping into our power and our freedom. So if you're in that group, it is just kind of figuring out like what is in alignment and understanding maybe some of this terms and things that I am speaking about, but it's really about finding that frequency that brings you joy and finding the things that resonate with you and your soul. Let's see. So I have a lot of that information out there on my site to kind of awakening 101, just trying to figure things out, how to clear your energy, how to connect with your divine feminine and your intuition to kind of just start you on that journey. So feel free to check those out in my Ascension tools. And then what I'm going to be doing this month to embrace all of that, like I said, I'm going to be slowing down. But what really brings me joy is bringing this type of information to everyone else, coaching my mentees and working with my clients to make sure they are on the right path and in alignment. And most importantly, getting them to learn they already have all the answers. Yes, I can help guide them to themselves, but they just need to remember that they already know all of this, that is already encoded in their soul imprint. They know what they came here to do. They know what their soul lessons are. So I'm teaching them to remember all of that and how to lean into their divine feminine, trust their intuition, and embrace their spiritual gifts, which is what I came here to do. So that's work-wise. And then for this summer, that's my goal, is just the whole summer. I just want to slow down and enjoy life. So I want to do the things with my clients that I love doing. And then when I'm not doing that, I want to focus on the things that bring me joy, which is spending time with my family, going outside, whether that's, going to soccer games or golfing with my husband, which is more his hobby than mine, but I still have fun. Or maybe it's as simple as going out on my deck and listening to the birds, watching the spring babies grow up. I'm trying to embrace more of what makes me feel peace, calm, and centered and grounded. That is my goal for this summer, is to come back to myself. And then I will get to share even more with you when I get back at it in the fall. Not that I'm not doing anything, I shouldn't say that, but I'm not going to be doing the hustle and cranking out a whole bunch of stuff. You will still get content from me, but it's going to feel different because I'm going to do it differently. Let's see, I already talked about that. And that, just want to make sure. Okay. So I talked about what I'm doing. So what does that look like for you? Or do you even know? A lot of times I ask clients, like, what brings you joy? And they have to like think and they hesitate for a moment because, one, no one's asked them that in a while. Like, how do you feel and what makes you happy? And two, they probably haven't done it in a while unless, they've been working on themselves. So if that is you, where you aren't even sure, then I challenge you to sit with yourself for 5 to 10 minutes, within the next couple of days, and ponder just that. What makes you feel alive, more energized? That is your soul speaking to you. We get so caught up, like I was saying, with the split that's kind of going on in the spiritual committee, that we have to, do this spiritual checklist. We need to meditate. We need to ground. We need to clear your energy. We need to journal. We need to do all these spiritual things. But then life happens and we don't integrate those at all. And we go back to being that stressed out version of ourselves. So my question to you is, are you actually living? Like, we are still human after all, and we came here to experience the human experience, and learn our lessons and grow our soul. But we are meant to do that by embracing that spiritual side of us as well. So I'm really going to be working over the next couple of months of teaching and sharing how to bring both of those together. Because that is kind of the shift that is occurring, and the veil is kind of being lifted on those that we're kind of seeing the difference between us spiritual leaders out there and kind of what is happening, where people are just like chasing that next thing, that next spiritual high, I call it, versus actually teaching people how to live and use those tools together. And some of those people, like, I'm not going to talk bad about anybody, but the way that kind of happens is we have distortions in our field, and we're living more from the ego side than actually connecting with our highest self and the divine. It kind of gets, the messages get muddy. So I'm sure in some realms, some of them are misguided, but in others, it's just, not really understanding the messages that come through. That's why it's so important. And I teach my clients to have a clear channel. Like, you need to check in and make sure it's clear to make sure you can actually hear the messages. So really that, over this month, listen to those gut feels. Is your channel clear? Can you hear your messages? Are you getting those signs? Are you understanding what is taking place in your life? And that really is the essence that I teach. And again, I'll be sharing more and more over the next couple of months with that. So I would really love to hear how this message lands with you all, as well as how you've been feeling the last couple of days or weeks. So drop a comment below. Let me know how this landed, how you're feeling. Reach out to me directly and check out my ascension tools on my website. The link I will post below. If you are looking to learn more about, just awakening, how to clear your field, that one's always free. And I'm sharing with my intimate group, the Divine Feminine Activation, this month to really help people learn to embrace the flow, trust their intuition, and slow down, as well as activating your creative center. But I have so much more content out there, so I'd be happy to guide you for what is right for you. So again, reach out. But in the meantime, I am sending so much love and light. See you soon.